U.S. stocks suffered their biggest one-day percentage drop in 3 months on Wednesday, adding to losses after the latest Fed statement, as major indexes were also pressured by a slump in Boeing and a selling of long positions by hedge funds. Apple and Facebook on Wednesday both reported holiday quarter results that beat Wall Street expectations. Shares of GameStop more than doubled on Wednesday, forcing hedge funds to take heavy losses as they unloaded bets the stock would fall, as message boards aimed at amateur investors continued to hype the stock. These and more on TFT News. I'm Mike Wallace, and this is TFT News. Boeing's modified 737 MAX airliner is safe to return to service in Europe, the European Union Aviation Safety Agency said on Wednesday, lifting a 22-month flight ban after 2 crashes of the jet, which caused 346 deaths.
Boeing's modified 737 MAX airliner is safe to return to service in Europe. The EU's Aviation Safety Agency, or EASA, made the announcement Wednesday. It lifts a 22-month flight ban for the plane after 2 crashes of the jet. EU regulators said they had every confidence the plane was safe. It comes after an independent European review of changes to the plane, ranging from cockpit software to maintenance checks and pilot training. The EASA did say, however, that the journey does not end here, and they will keep monitoring MAX operations closely. The 737 MAX was grounded by regulators all over the world in March 2019. It happened when an Ethiopian Airlines jet crashed just 5 months after one flown by Indonesia's Lion Air. 346 people died in the crashes. The US lifted its ban in November, followed by Brazil and Canada, but China, which made up a quarter of MAX sales, has not said when it will act.
U.S. stocks suffered their biggest one-day percentage drop in 3 months on Wednesday, adding to losses after the latest Fed statement, as major indexes were also pressured by a slump in Boeing and a selling of long positions by hedge funds.
Wild trading in heavily shorted stocks and a slump in Boeing slammed Wall Street Wednesday, with stocks suffering their biggest loss in 3 months. Selling accelerated after the Federal Reserve left interest rates unchanged, and Chairman Jerome Powell pointed to the headwinds facing the economy. The Dow plunged 633 points, or 2%. The selling was even worse for the S&P 500 and NASDAQ, which both dropped more than 2.5% Wednesday. Adding to the market turmoil, amateur retail investors piled into shares of video game retailer GameStop and cinema operator AMC Entertainment, pushing up their shares and forcing short sellers like Citron to ditch their losing bets. Gerber Kawasaki COO Danilo Kawasaki says regulators need to step in.
Because on one side, I think that this it impacts the integrity of the market, and we need confidence from investors to maintain an orderly market. But on the other side, my colleagues here are saying that this is an opportunity for the small guy, for the little guy, to kind of stick to the big guys.
Other big movers Wednesday: Boeing. Shares declined almost 4%. The airplane manufacturer took a huge $6.5 billion charge on its new wide-body twin-engine 777X jet due to the health crisis and the aftermath of the safety issues over its narrow-body 737 MAX. After the markets closed, shares of 2 Silicon Valley tech titans rose modestly after posting strong results. Apple's quarterly profit breezed past estimates. New 5G iPhones helped push handset revenue to a new record and sparked a 57% rise in China sales. Facebook's quarterly profit and revenue crushed analysts' estimates. Increased ad spending by businesses lifted the social networking company's top line. But Tesla shares slid after hours. The electric car maker's profit came in short of Wall Street's targets.
Tesla's fourth quarter profit fell short of Wall Street expectations on Wednesday, and the company failed to provide a clear target for 2021 vehicle deliveries, sending shares down 4.4% in extended trade.
Tesla's posted record earnings Wednesday still disappointed Wall Street, posting adjusted income short of the $1.1 billion analysts had hoped for. Investors had also hoped to see CEO Elon Musk's electric car maker set a higher target for vehicle deliveries in 2021, but the company only gave a vague outlook, driving shares down 5%. It caps 12 months that saw Tesla's shares surge some 700%. Investors had bet on expectations that Tesla will quickly and profitably expand after setting a goal of delivering 500,000 vehicles last year. Instead, in a statement, the company did not state a concrete delivery goal. Under Musk's leadership, Tesla bucked the 2020 trend of economic upheaval with steady sales at a time when many car makers reported losses. Its success allowed Tesla to join the S&P 500 index, defying long-term skeptics who had bet against the company. Over the past year, Tesla ramped up production in China, though it faces local competition by the likes of NIO and XPeng. Tesla is also building new car and battery manufacturing factories in Texas and Germany. But the race is now on for car makers who are developing electric vehicles of their own to challenge Tesla's lead. Several car makers are slated to release new electric models this year, including Ford's Mustang Mach-E and Volkswagen's ID.4.
Apple and Facebook on Wednesday both reported holiday quarter results that beat Wall Street expectations.
Tech juggernauts Apple and Facebook both beat already high Wall Street expectations on Wednesday when they reported earnings for the holiday quarter. Apple posted its most profitable quarter ever, fueled by sales of its new 5G iPhones as well as Mac laptops and iPads, driven by consumers working, learning, and playing from home. CEO Tim Cook said iPhone sales in China rose 57%. In an interview with Reuters, Cook said Apple gained in China both from customers switching from rival Android devices as well as existing customers upgrading their phones, but said upgraders in particular set an all-time record in China. Shares of Apple, the biggest public company in the U.S., fell slightly following the report, but have risen more than 10% in just the past 2 weeks. Facebook also posted record results on Wednesday, powered by increased ad spending by businesses to capitalize on a holiday shopping season moved mostly online. The social network has launched a slew of new e-commerce products such as Facebook Pay and Facebook Shops that enable in-app purchases across the company's suite of apps, including Instagram. Monthly active users also rose more than expected to 2.8 billion, but shares of the world's biggest social media company fell after the close, later returning to about flat, after warning of, quote, significant ad targeting headwinds in 2021 because of, guess who, Apple, saying its impending privacy changes could interfere with ad targeting and therefore hurt its revenue.
Microsoft co-founder turned philanthropist Bill Gates said Wednesday he has been taken aback by the volume of crazy and evil conspiracy theories about him spreading on social media during the COVID-19 pandemic, but said he would like to explore what is behind them.
Crazy and evil. That's what Bill Gates thinks about the volume of conspiracy theories about him spreading on social media during the coronavirus pandemic. In an interview with Reuters, the Microsoft co-founder turned philanthropist said the combination of a frightening pandemic and the rise of social media likely fostered the millions of online posts and those theories about him and the U.S.'s top infectious disease expert, Anthony Fauci.
Nobody would have predicted that I and Dr. Fauci would be so prominent in, really kind of evil theories about, did we create the pandemic? Are we trying to profit from it? And on and on. And so, I'm very surprised by that. I hope it goes away.
Through his foundation, the billionaire has committed at least $1.75 billion to the global response to the health crisis. He's baffled by the claims that he and Fauci created the pandemic to try to control people and that they wanted to use vaccines to insert trackable microchips into people.
Do people really believe that stuff? We're going to have to get educated about this over the next year and understand, how does it change people's behavior? How should we have minimized this, either working with the social media companies or explaining what we were up to in a better way?
As vaccines are rolled out across the world, Gates said good communication and good leadership are key to getting more people inoculated.
The benefit to society, everyone or a high percentage of people participating, should be very clear, although all the crazy conspiracy theories may cut into that.
He also praised Fauci and U.S. National Institutes of Health Director Francis Collins as smart and wonderful people, and said he was excited about the team that President Joe Biden has assembled to handle the health crisis.
Shares of GameStop more than doubled on Wednesday, forcing hedge funds to take heavy losses as they unloaded bets the stock would fall, as message boards aimed at amateur investors continued to hype the stock.
GameStop is in the middle of an epic Wall Street tug-of-war. On one side, professional traders known as short sellers who are betting shares of GameStop will fall. On the other, amateur investors who are betting shares of the gaming retailer will continue to scale unbelievable heights. And so far, the amateurs are wiping the floor with the professionals. Shares of GameStop doubled again on Wednesday, catapulting the stock price by 800% over the past 2 weeks. The stock has been on a tear ever since GameStop appointed 3 e-commerce veterans to its board earlier this month. Short sellers, traders who make their money by betting a stock will fall, saw the stock going up and expressed their disbelief. Last week, Citron Research uploaded a video alleging GameStop is a, quote, failing mall-based retailer, and tweeted the stock would nosedive back to $20. Amateur investors who disagree flocked to social media sites like a Reddit message board to defend the stock, amassing a horde of supporters who pushed the stock even higher. The battle reminds Jeff Tomasulo, CEO of Vespula Capital, of the dot-com frenzy of the 1990s, with social media providing a new twist.
There are these groups, right, on Reddit. One is one group that starts to talk about certain stocks. So people are in these trading groups or these communities pushing these certain stocks, right? And then you have Robinhood, which is where you can, a brokerage where you can buy fractional ownership where you couldn't do this. So now you have just a bunch of money flowing in to these different stocks because these communities are saying they're really good buys, and it's really just money pushing in.
Even Tesla CEO Elon Musk, who's had his own bitter battles with short sellers, weighed in, seemingly on the side of the amateurs. After Tuesday's market close, he tweeted out a link to the Reddit message board that's hyping the GameStop stock. The controversy doesn't appear to be letting up. GameStop shares touched $350 a share on Wednesday. Some of the professional investors who bet on the stock's demise have thrown in the towel. Citron Research, the firm that said GameStop was going to $20, said Wednesday it closed out the majority of its losing bet the day before.
And those are the latest from around the world. I'm Mike Wallace, and this is TFT News.